manamapi Vishachi putram atra surupam Rupam tasya gajamuri purim maturim gostvatim Radha kundamagirivaram ahoradika madhvasam prapto yasya pratita kripaya Sri Guru Tamnatus Gurave Gaurachandaya Radhikaya Tirale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Ananda Leela Maya Vigrahaya Hema Bhadivyatschavi Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Bhaktya Veda Aparadha Lakshay Kshipta Shakama Sham Sundar Shikanda Shika Smahas Murali Manohara Radhikar Sukumama Kripanidhe Supriya Charna Kinkarim Kuru Tavaivasmi Najivamittaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Devi Tam Namah Charanantikam. First of all, I offer my Sastang Dandavat Puspanjali, my heart like flowers thousands and thousands of times, at the lotus feet of my holy master, my supremely worshipable spiritual Gurudev, Asmadya Paramaradhatama, Guru Pada Padma, Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad, Ashtodara Sata Sissimad, Rupanugacharya Varya, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Secondly, I offer my pranam thousands of times at the lotus feet of my Param Gurudev, to Srila Prabhupada, and to our whole Sri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Parampara. And finally, I offer my pranam to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, Vanchakalpatarubhascha, Kripa Sindhubhyavacha, Putitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Very artistic. So, today want to discuss a topic. Actually, we began to discuss this topic a little in the Shravanalp. But today we want to expand on this topic a little more. The subject is Sharanagati, unconditional surrender. See, Prahlad Maharaj, he has said, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. This verse is very well known, describing 9 angas, 9 ways in which the bhakti manifests its beautiful vilas. Don't think about bhakti as something that you do. Bhakti is the vilas of Swarup Shakti. That means the play of Krishna's internal pleasure potency. And so we engage our senses with the very strong hope, strong desire, utsaha nistat dharyat, with enthusiasm, with confidence, but also with patience. In the activities of bhakti, not actually bhakti, bhajana kriya, not actually bhajan, but the activities. And by this, gradually, as anarthas are washed away, then that transcendental bhakti in these 9 forms, hearing, chanting and remembering, descends and takes control of our senses. And then it's bhakti. So, though this verse is well known, the next verse is also very important. Iti pumsa pita Vishnu bhaktis chenna valakshana kreti bhagavatada tanmanye didumutamam. Prahlad Maharaj said, I consider that person is the most learned. They have understood the essence of everything, who first surrenders themselves and then engages in the aforementioned 9 angas of bhakti. So, the reason Prahlad Maharaj is saying this is because Mahat Kripa Bina Kon Kame Bhakti Nai Krishna Bhakti Duri Rahe Sangshana Hikshai. That if a person is not surrendered to their spiritual master, to Mahat Kripa Bina, without the mercy of a great personality, if someone thinks they are doing bhakti, but they are not, they are doing karma. Because if they are not surrendered, then why are they doing it? To get some material benefit, or to get relief from material miseries, or whatever. But bhakti is Krishna's pleasure potency. Bhakti only gives pleasure to Krishna, it doesn't do anything else. So that Shakti will not come and do a vilas in your senses without iti pumsarpita Vishnu. First surrender. Understand why? The Sharanagati surrender is the doorway to bhakti, because when we are in anugatya, under the guidance of a Mahat, a great soul, who is near and dear to Sri Krishna, only then our activity is pleasing to Krishna, and so the very potency which gives pleasure to Krishna makes its appearance and begins to do a vilas in our senses. That's why Srila Rupa Goswami, he wrote a book called Hari Bhakti Vilas. Bhakti is playing. So, first of all, Sharanagati, surrender. So in the Hari Bhakti Sudhodhai, there the 6 aspects of surrender have been described. Anukul yasya sankalpa, patikul yasya varjana, rakshishyati iti visraso, goptitve paranam tata, atmanikshepana karpanye, sadvida Sharanagati. First, anukul yasya sankalpa. To to make a vow to accept all the things which are favorable for bhakti, for Krishna service. So what are the things which are favorable? Shuddha bhakata charanarenu bhajanayanukula. Bhajan anukul. Bhakta seva paramasiddhi bhakti lati karamula. The root of the bhakti lata is the service of pure devotees. Their foot dust. So, this is the first thing which is favorable for bhakti. Then, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur goes on to explain Madhavatiti Bhakti Janani. Following Akadasi is Anukul. Oh, Gora Vihita Kirtana Shuni. When I hear the sound of the Mridanga and the kirtans which are authorized by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not speculated kirtans, those who are coming in our parampara, when I hear this, then my heart feels full of joy. When he says, when I see Tulsi, knowing that she's Krishna Toshani, she gives such pleasure to Krishna, then I feel such joy. So serving Tulsi in your life, having Tulsi in your life, serving her, doing parikrama of her, bowing down to her, giving water, this is all anukul for bhakti. Gora amar jai sabastane karala brahmana range sai sabastani haribami pranay bhakta sange. He said, oh, I want to wander throughout all the places of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leelas on parikrama, in the association of very loving devotees. So, performing parikrama in Navadvip Dham, Jagannath Puri Dham, Vrindavan, in the association of loving devotees, this is anukul for bhakti. So, anukul yasya sankalpat, I make a vow to accept in my life all the favorable activities. Then, pratikul yasya vivarjanam, to reject unequivocally everything which is the pratikul, which will destroy the one's bhakti. That means even persons, the vilas has begun to appear. If they do these things, it will disappear. So what to speak of those who are not experiencing the vilas of bhakti? How detrimental it will be. Atyahara prayasascha prajapunya magraha janasangasthaloyam cha sadve bhakti vinash. Overeating. Eating too much. Becoming fat is not anukul for bhajan. My Gurudev used to say. So, overeating, but that's not only with the tongue, with all the senses. Listening to the worldly or mundane sound, seeing worldly or mundane things, you eat through all your senses. And just as if you eat something rotten with your mouth, it will poison you. You can be poisoned when you eat something rotten with your eye. What happened to Ajamil? He just saw one prostitute enjoying with the drunken Sudra. Poison went in through his eyes, and his life was ruined temporarily. So, you can poison your heart through the ear also, by hearing the Vishaikatha. Vishaikatha Hari Hari Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari. So always speak Krishna Nam and Krishna Katha, and don't let any Vishaikatha, mundane talk, enter the ears. So Atyahara Prayas means over endeavoring, taking on a project which is too big for you to handle. Sometimes devotees have a big dream, I want to do this big project, and they start to do it and it's crushing them. They're working day and night and going into debt. But they have no time for chanting or anything. So their bhakti becomes destroyed. So Rupa Goswami said this is one of the angas of bhakti. Bahuramba. Don't commence large projects. So an acharya can do it. Because acharya is like Hanuman, he can lift a mountain. But you are like ants. So if you try to lift even a house brick, it will crush you. So we don't try to do very great things, but rather our acharyas, they can do great things. We are trying to assist them in their activities. So prayasascha prajalpo. Prajalpo means the gramya katha, discussion of the worldly things, gossip. He said that she said that he said that she said. What is this one doing? What is that one doing? Don't put your nose in anyone else's business. It cannot help you. Until you put your nose, then you're trouble. Catch you. So when we are eager to put our nose in what other people are doing and thinking and saying, that means we have lost our power of introspection. We have lost the antaramukata, which is really one of the main symptoms of the Madhyamadikari. So, Param Pujapad Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj used to say, mind your own business and surrender. So, Prajalpo Niyamagraha. Niyamagraha means being lax about the rules and regulations of bhakti. So we should try to follow all the practices of bhakti, remembering Gayatri mantras, chanting Harinam, attending Arti, all of these different daily programs. Try to follow it. And Niyamagraha can also mean following everything but without any purpose, without the purpose of attaining bhakti. So if you come to the Arti and you're singing, Kushumita Sarobare, but you don't know what you're singing, then why are you singing? It's okay, doing something is better than doing nothing. But we should be aware, everything that we do it with intention, with purpose, with an awareness of what we're doing. If you don't know, you can ask any senior devotee, what does this verse mean? Why are we singing this? Ask not one, ask many. Even if you know the word for word, there are so many different significances of each verse we are singing. So don't do everything just for the sake of doing it, but do it very attentively, mindfully, with properly adjusted, focused intention. So then, Janasanga. Janasanga destroys bhakti. This is very, very important. Don't associate closely with those who are not devotees. Because just like the pure devotees, they're doing prachar, they're preaching on behalf of Sri Krishna. So all those who are not devotees are doing prachar on behalf of Maya. Knowingly or unknowingly. They are preaching to you. They are changing your mind. They are persuading you to not be Krishna's devotee. So be careful. Shastra recommends that we try as much as possible to do sadhu sangha, associate with sadhus. Why? Because in sadhu sangha there's no jana sangha. Because a sadhu will never fall into materialistic association. Sadhu will never associate with Mayavadis, with Vishayis. So if we find that in our life that we've come into the association of worldly persons, then you should know that there is some aparad there. Just like Dravida. Dravida was actually an associate of Lord Ram. He participated in the invasion of Lanka, so he was doing so much service for Ram. And he respected Ram. But he made an offense to Lakshman. So Lakshman is the Akhanda Guru Tattva, is Balarama Nityananda. Expansion of Balarama Nityananda. So due to this offense to Lakshman, the result was he fell into bad association. Who became his associate? Kalyavan and other demons. And by their association, then he also became a demon. And in the end, what happened? In the next incarnation, Lakshman, or rather Lakshman, who's the expansion of Balaram, his original form Balaram appeared in this world and then killed Dravida.
Can you say in a few words what was the offense
he was not respectful. So, the thing is here, actually, Dravida, Mainda, there are two personalities, Mainda and Dravida. And they are two associates of Lord Ram. So when you do, if a person is doing puja of Lord Ram according to Vaidhi Bhakti, then they'll have to, in the avaran around him, worship his associates. So Dravida is one of the persons who is worshipped in that avarana puja of Lord Ramachandra. So you have to understand that this was a special pastime to teach us about the dangers of Asat Sangha. We go into Asat Sangha due to offenses. And then in the Asat Sangha, then all the bhakti is lost. So Sadbhi Bhakti Vinashati. So Jana Sangha, one thing is this. We have to clarify one thing also. Just so when you go back to your Prabhudatta Desh, the place where your spiritual masters have given you engagement in service, and you're walking on the street, and then you see a non-devotee, you don't jump out of your skin and run for your life. So, oh no, there's a non-devotee. Now the fruit of my aparad is coming, I have to run. Don't think like this. Sangha means with attachment. Being attached. So, you may be in a room or you may have to deal with so many persons who are not devotees, but you don't give your attachment. You don't give your heart. Make a hearty relation with any of them. Because if you make a hearty relation, then that will be a hook in your heart and it will pull you into the ocean of material existence. So we reserve all of our attachment for our Gurudev and the pure Vaishnavas. They will also put a hook in our heart and pull us to Goloka Vrindavan. So Sangha association works both ways. So also, just as if you are in the presence of the worldly minded persons, but you are not attached to them, then it will not have a detrimental effect on you. But in the same way, if you are in the association of a sadhu, but you are not attached to those sadhus, then it will also not have, some effect will be there because they are very powerful. But it will not have the full effect. The true experience of sadhu sangha will not be there unless there is attachment. Bimala Vaishnava Rati Upajive Hoibe Basanakshin. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, when will that day come? When from the core of my heart I'll be very attached to a pure Vaishnava. And simply by this, all my basanas, that means the desires coming from the samskaras, impressions in the subconscious mind, they're all just diminished down to nothing. So the attachment to the Vaishnava produces the detachment from everything else. So Janasangas Talolyam Cha. Lolyam means greed. So here, greed can be understood in different ways. Obviously, there's a gross understanding of greed, but that's more or less been touched by the phrase atyahara, overeating, over-endeavoring, trying to collect so much money and so on. Here, greed also means the greed to collect so much irrelevant information and knowledge as well. You know? There are so many books, so many subject matters. I am not even speaking about mundane subject matters. Even Vedic knowledge. Vedic knowledge is like an ocean. It's like an ocean. If you try, you think I want to know all about Vedic knowledge, you try to study by yourself, then you'll find, what is this? First I have to learn Sanskrit. Grammar, the etymology, and all of these things. This is one ocean. And then after that, then you, what is this philosophy? Nyay, Saddarshan, Nyay, Vaisheshik, Sankhya Darshan, Yoga Darshan, Purva Mimamsa, Vedanta. So many different interpretations of Vedanta. In Purva Mimamsa there are so many yagyas and rituals. And they take years and years to learn. It's just like an endless ocean. Then there are all of the non-Vedic philosophies and the Vedic refutations of many, many non-Vedic philosophies. So you come to just the subject of Vedic knowledge and it's just an endless ocean. And this is why we should do Guru Karan. Guru Karan means I only want to learn what my Gurudev is teaching me. Otherwise you get lost in endless things which are by and large in many cases irrelevant actually, and not actually nourishing, not actually contributing to your sadhya and your sadhana. Srila Sanatana Goswami only asked 4 questions to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kayami Kenyamai Jaritapatrai Hiya nahi jani kamini itahai Sadhya sadhana tattva puchite na jani kripa kori sabha tattva kohita apani. Oh Mahaprabhu, who am I? That's the first question. Who am I? And second question, and why am I suffering? Who am I and why am I suffering? And then, what is my sadhya, the goal of my life, and how do I attain it? We don't have time for the answers to any other questions. If we can just find the answers to these 4 questions in this life and actually practice it, then everything will be perfect. So, Guru Karan means Gurudev will extract. The Vaishnavi Saragrahi, they extract the essence of everything and give that. And if we can receive that, then there's nothing missing. Nothing is lost at all. Because by following that, one has real vidya. Sa vidya tanmatiryaya. The definition of vidya in Srimad Bhagavatam, sa vidya, what is vidya? Sa vidya tanmatiryaya. How to become tanmay. That means completely absorbed. Your consciousness in the thoughts of Krishna. That's vidya. And anything which is not making you become absorbed in the remembrance of Krishna, we don't accept that as vidya. So, here lobha, greediness, it's a mundane greediness to collect so many ideas, philosophies and so on, which are not relevant for the development of your devotion. So, all of these things which are unfavorable for bhakti, we reject. So these are the first 2 limbs of Sharanagati. Then, Goptitvai Paranam Titi Vishwaso Goptitvai. Rakshashatiti means just the Vishwas, the confidence that at a time of danger Krishna will save me. So that doesn't mean that sometimes it happens that a devotee is in some type of accident. Even it can happen and they pass away from this world. But that doesn't mean that Krishna did not protect them. Because Krishna can protect you by relocating you in another body to continue bhajan there. So one should not lose faith and say, oh, this person was a devotee, look what happened to them. Krishna didn't protect them. No. If someone is surrendered to Krishna, just like Lala Babu, he was an old man, he was walking in the street. And he walked past some horses that had been galloping, they were frisky. One of the horses kicked, hit him in the chest and he died. Then just going and say, what is this? He did bhajan his whole life and now he just got killed by a frisky horse. No. Krishna called him, "Oh, come to me."
Who was this?
Lalabha. Yeah. Like also Chitraketu Maharaj. Chitraketu Maharaj, he was just having a friendly joke with his friend Lord Shiva, and Durga became upset, thinking that he'd made offense and cursed him to become a demon. And then the next thing you know, he'd become Vitrasura, coming from the fire of Twasta, and he was fighting with Indra, and Indra cut off his arms and was cutting his head off with a thunderbolt. So where's this Rakshasati iti Vishwaso? But the inner meaning of the pastime is that Krishna was feeling so much separation from him. Living in the life like a demigod, it would have taken him thousands of years before he would come to the spiritual world. So Krishna made this apparently disastrous situation to quickly bring him to his lotus feet, out of love. So we shouldn't judge situations, Krishna is protecting or not protecting, by external vision. Just know, have the confidence that if you are surrendered to Krishna, He's protecting you. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur prays, "Oh Krishna, you have the adhikar, you have the right to keep me alive or to kill me as you please." So, Prakshishati Vishwasa Goptitvai Varna. Goptitvai Varna means to select your guardian who will maintain you always. So, of the 6 angas of Sharanagati, this one is the main one. In fact, this is Angi. This is like, Angi means your body, from which all the angas, all the limbs come. So without the body, then the limbs can't be connected or function. So the Angi, that is the main, and all the others are attached to that. So the main part of Sharanagati, the Angi, is Goptitvai Varna. Selecting, Krishna, you are my guardian, you will always maintain me. Because if you don't select a guardian, then to whom will your activities be favorable or unfavorable? And so on. You can't decide. First select the guardian, then it means favorable to him, unfavorable to him. Then everything becomes meaningful. So, select, oh Krishna, you are my shelter, you are my maintainer. So when a person gives their heart to Krishna and accepts Krishna as his Goptitva, that he is his maintainer, then you have no worries at all. All existential anxieties. Where will I live? What will I eat? Where will I go? Who will take care of me when I'm old? All these anxieties that are in the minds of the ordinary people, they just go away completely. Now Krishna, I have surrendered to you. All these problems, they are not my headache. That is I am your responsibility now. So Karpanya means humility, to always consider oneself wretched. So, just to be in this world is a fallen condition. That we are here and not there. Because pure Vaishnavas, they are not fallen. But they are also there. Internally they are there. But for us who are just here, just to be here is a fallen condition. This is the plane of the fallen. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam mudam. I am fallen in this dreadful ocean of material existence. In the ocean of birth and death. So to always consider oneself in the most wretched and destitute position, being so insignificant. Just one very minute, almost powerless jiva. Actually, really powerless. There's some power in the jiva, but powerless against the might of Maya. And there are millions and millions of countless jivas just like me. So to not be puffed up. And Atmanikshepana sometimes called Atmanivedana also. Nikshep means to throw. You throw yourself at the mercy of the Lord. Nothing is mine, everything belongs to you. Even my own soul is not mine, it belongs to you. Atmanivedana. So all these 6 angas taken together, they are called Sharanagati. Now, I want to speak about separately the anga of bhakti called Atmanivedana. So Atmanivedana, there are 2. One is the Atmanivedana which is part of Sharanagati. And one is the Atmanivedana which is the last of the 9 angas of bhakti. So one is part of the door to bhakti and one is actually anga of bhakti itself. So there are 2. This is why when we do Navadvip Dham Parikrama, we begin in the central island of the Antardvip. And then you do Parikrama of the 8 other islands. And then you come back to Antardvip again in the end. Because Antardvip is the island of Atmanivedana. And so you go first to Simantadvip, Shravanam, and then to Godrumdvip, Kirtanam, like this. So you go through the 8 angas of bhakti, and then you come back to Atmanivedana. Then your Parikrama is complete. Why? Because there are 2 types of Atmanivedana. One is part of Sharanagati, and one is the mature development of bhakti. So the reason is this. In our conditioned state, we cannot surrender really our Atma, the soul, because we've never seen it and we don't know what it is and we're not truly aware of it. The only thing we're aware of is our own body and senses and mind. So we try to dedicate that, body, mind and words, in the service of Guru and Krishna. By dedicating the body, mind and so that is Atmanivedana and surrender. But by dedicating oneself in this way, then gradually when the anartha is clear and the bhakti appears in the heart, then we realize our Atma. And then in our Swarup, we give ourselves fully to Krishna in our Swarup, to Krishna's Swarup, person to person. This is the meaning of Swaha. Swa means your Swarup. And Ha means offering. So in your spiritual form, you give yourself fully in Sri Krishna's service. So Atmanivedana, 2 types, one part of Sharanagati and one part of Bhakti. So you begin there and also end there. Srila Jiva Goswami Pad, in describing Atmanivedana, he also mentions 2 types. He said, one is called Deyarpanam Atmanivedanam. Means we mentioned this, your body. Offering you all the activities of your body. And the other one, then that is called Atmarpanam Atmanivedanam. The meaning of this is Deyarpanam Atmanivedanam is exactly like selling a cow. If you own a cow and you take it to the marketplace and you sell that cow, now the other person buys it. Now that other person has bought it, now you don't have to maintain that cow anymore. It's that other person's job to feed the cow. On the other hand, you have no right to the milk of that cow because it's that other person's cow now. So, the Deyarpanam Atmanivedanam is like that you consider yourself like a sold cow, a sold animal. So what does that mean? That means that now your maintenance is not your responsibility. It's the responsibility of the person to whom you have sold yourself. And on the other hand, the fruit of all your work and activity doesn't belong to you. it belongs to the person you have sold yourself to. So that is called the Deyarpanam Atmanivedanam. Now, the other type, Atmarpanam Atmanivedanam, means there may be a person, for example, in Vedic culture, someone like Bhishma Dev. He's doing his duty as a Kshatriya, as a warrior. So those activities, they are not directly bhakti to Krishna, the dharmas of a Kshatriya. But in his soul, in his heart, he is given his Atma. And that giving of the Atma is characterized by Shakshitva. That means witnesshood. That is that, the meaning is this, that this body and senses and mental activities, these are all part of the material energy. And I am only the Shakshi, I am the witness of that. So that sense of I, not the sense of I related to the body, but the I-ness which is of the consciousness, of the Atma, distinct from all the activities of the body and mind, that I am giving to you, Krishna. So you cannot tell if a person, they're just doing some ordinary worldly activities. You cannot tell whether they've given their soul to Krishna or not. Now, what should we do? Deyarpanam Atmanivedanam or Atmarpanam Atmanivedanam? Both. We have to do both. That is called Sarvatmakam Atmanivedanam. Sarvatmakam. In all respects. In all respects. So, this analysis of two aspects is very helpful for us because it breaks down the actual nature of Atmanivedanam, so we can understand it and then practice and do that ourselves. So, one should not have any fear for one's bodily maintenance. Supreme Lord will take care of everything. One should work very hard, but never take the result for yourself. Everything is for Guru and Krishna. Or just the other week we were in Rome and we went on a parikrama to the cave of Saint Benedict. Who was there? Cave of Saint Benedict? So it was very wonderful. So in the monasteries of Saint Benedict, they have their sutra. You know, ora et labora. Ora et labora means pray and work. Pray hard and work hard. Ora et labora. And in Gaudiya Vaishnavism we have the same phrase also. Exactly the same phrase in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Mukhe naam hate kaam. Mukhe naam hate kaam. That means that always chant with your mouth and while you're chanting and working at the same time. Engage the body and the mind and the tongue always in Krishna's service. Mukhe naam hate kaam. So, the manifestation, full Sarvatmakam Atmanivedanam, full manifestation of devotional surrender means that we are working very hard without desiring any fruit for ourselves, only for the satisfaction of Guru and Gauranga. We have no worry of our maintenance. We don't think about the future. And at the same time, we are not thinking, I am the doer doing all of this work. Because Atman has been offered and we see, oh, my body and senses are acting. Naivam kinchit karomiti, Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. A person in pure consciousness, when they are standing, sitting, walking, talking, eating, opening and closing their eyes, they know that only the senses are engaged with their objects. But I, the self, I am doing nothing. So unless we come in the position of the Shakshi, then we have not surrendered yet, because we're still holding on to the mental concoctions and identification with the ego. So there's an outer, external surrender, but not a heartly surrender. So Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said, the measure of whether we are humble, whether we are surrendered, or whether we are performing Shuddha Bhakti is the Drik Drishya Vichar. To distinguish between who is the seer and who is the seen. Krishna is seeing us. Tulsi Devi is seeing us. The deity is seeing us. Mahaprasadam is seeing us. Don't think you are looking at the Mahaprasad. Mahaprasad is looking at you. So all the transcendental substances, they are conscious. But we are in a state of unconsciousness. But the ego is, we can see. And we are really experiencing these objects, which they are not objects, they are not tanmatras. They are aprakrita vastu. They are not the objects of our vision. We are the objects of their vision. Like Param Gurudev, he said, Tomara pada batali deva rishi kutuhale. Means, oh Brinda Devi, at your lotus feet, there is a crowd of demigods, devas and rishis are having a festival. Can you see? Do you see? All the devas and rishis having a festival here. And who is seeing? But she is seeing. And when we bow down and pray, she may mercifully look at us. So, Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad said, Shuddha Bhakti does not begin until we attain the state of Shakshitva. Witnesshood. Otherwise, with an unsteady mind, when the mind is unsteady, then we think I am doing everything. Like a child who was spinning around and round and then fell on the ground and was lying and then thinking, oh, everything is moving. Everything is not moving. Only the mind is in a state of dizziness. So in the same way, when we think we are doing everything, now we're in a state of dizziness actually. So when the mind becomes, when someone has surrendered, then all the gunas, they start to dissipate. And then one comes in a stage of nishta, ekagrata chitta, one-pointed consciousness. And then, nasta praesho bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttamasagri bhaktir bhavati naistiki. From nishta, now bhakti starts to, pure bhakti starts to appear. And it's very relishable. So then ruchi comes. So now we've discussed up to Sarvatmakam Atmanivedanam. This is also of two types. It can be Bhava Vina or Bhava Vishishta. A full surrender just in a general way to God. Or it can be Bhava Vishishta, imbued with a specific sentiment. Just like Jiva Goswami gives two examples. Matau yada chakta samasta kama niveditatma vichikirsato me tadamritatvam pratipadyamana mayatmabhuyaya chakalpate bai. When a person, they leave all karmic worldly activities and they surrender to me, Sri Krishna said, at that time I make them immortal. That means I give them a spiritual body. But this is a general type of surrender, it will go to Vaikuntha. But a specific type of surrender, that is like Rukmini. When Rukmini wrote a letter to the Sri Krishna and sent it through a Brahmin, when just before she was her marriage was being arranged to Shishupal, then she wrote to Krishna, oh, please accept me. I have chosen you as my husband. Okay, so it's in Madhurya Rasa. This surrender, she surrendered to Krishna, but it's Bhava Vishishta. You are my husband, I am your wife. So why should Shishupal enjoy me? He's like a jackal. You are a lion. The jackal should not enjoy what is fit for the lion. He's just a bag of skin, full of blood and stool and urine, decorated with a moustache and fingernails. That is not a premaspada, an object of love. No human being in this world The physical body of any human being, this is not an object of love. What is it that you love? The smell of the stool? The fat? The bone? The mucus? What is it lovable exactly? So the physical body is not the object of love of anyone. Who is Premaspada? God. God is the object of love for all living entities. So she said, I surrender to you, and if you come and save me, then I will serve you. And if you don't come and save me, I will do hard austerities until this body is just completely finished. And I'll give up this body, and in my next life I'll do hard austerities again and finish that body, and I'll do it again and finish that body, and I'll keep doing it. I'll do it 1,000 times until the day you come and take me. And accept me as your wife. So, this is the Bhava Vishisht Atma Nivedan. What Nishta? What Nishta is there? You can see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was in Chandrasekhar Bhavan, the house of his uncle. When he did the drama, which role did he play? Rukmini. And he was speaking these verses of Rukmini and everyone was crying. Because it embodies such a very great determination in surrender to Sri Krishna. So if we can just have a drop of this determination, it will be very good. Oh Krishna, I am yours. Please appear before me and accept my service. Very soon. But if you don't come today, then tomorrow I am going to go to the cinema. So will Krishna respond? Will Krishna respond to a person who is the surrender and Nishta in him is so lukewarm? Lukewarm. One saint says, this is my greatest enemy, being lukewarm. Have to be hot. Determined, passion. Not Rajagun, but passion, Rag, to serve Krishna. So, now we come, this was a little introduction. Now we're coming to our verse for today. So, this is a very beautiful verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, discussing the real nature of mature surrender. So you can repeat. It's 11th canto, chapter 29, text 4. Kim chitramachu tatavaita dashesha bando.
Kim chitramachu tatavaita dashesha bando.
Dashveshananya sharaneshu yadatma sattvam.
Dashveshananya sharaneshu yadatma sattvam.
Yoro chayat sahamirga swayam ishwaranam.
Yoro chayat sahamirga swayam ishwaranam.
Srimat kirita tatapidita padapita.
Srimat kirita tatapidita padapita.
So nice, huh? Srimat kirita tatapidita padapita. This verse is spoken by Uddhav. So Uddhav is very, very dear, very close to Sri Krishna. Vrishninam pavaro mantri Krishnasya dayita sakha. Shisho Brihaspati sakshat Uddhavo buddhi sattama. Among the Vrishni members of the Vrishni dynasty, then Uddhav is chief associate of Krishna. He is Krishna's mantri. He gives advice to Krishna what to do in various situations. Krishna Sya Dayita Sakha. He is Dat Atmanam, he has given his heart to Krishna fully. Dayita. And his Sakha. Sakha means friend, but here the specific significance of friendship is that a really close friend is a person who knows your secrets. who is privy to your very private activities. And you have confidence in that person also. So Uddhav is like that. When Krishna was in Mathura and he went to visit Kubja. You know, when Krishna first entered into Mathura with his friends, then there was one hunchback lady. And when she saw the beauty of Krishna, she was very attracted to him. She had lust actually. And her service was to grind sandalwood paste and deliver it for the service of Kamsa Maharaj. But Krishna said, "Oh, beautiful young lady." But she was like this. Said, "Why don't you give this janda and this sandalwood paste to me?" So she was very attracted by his beauty, so she took the sandalwood paste and began to smear it on his body. Just the touch of Krishna was giving her so great pleasure. So then Krishna, he stepped on her toes and put his finger under her chin and went, and immediately she was adjusted. She had a spinal adjustment. Chiropractic adjustment. So miraculously, just by the touch of Krishna, she became very beautiful. Like more than Miss World. More than Miss Universe. And then Krishna was on his way with his friends. But she was so shameless, she grabbed Krishna by the dhoti and was pulling him. And telling him, "Come back to my place." Krishna said, "Not now, but later I'll come." So he promised. So, after Krishna had killed Kamsa Maharaj, then, later, he had to reciprocate with Kubja. So he went there, very secretly. Only Uddhav was there, and he waited outside. So Uddhav is very, very close to Sri Krishna. Krishna Syadayatasaka. Pravarot Mantri. His Mantri, he gives Krishna advice. You know, once Krishna was in Dwarka, and at the same time, two messengers arrived. One was saying, "Oh, I have come from so many kings, 20,000 kings who have been captured by Jarasandha. And he's going to kill them all. He just wants to do a human sacrifice, but he's waiting for astrological good day to kill them." And at the same time, another messenger came from Yudhishthira Maharaj, inviting Krishna to come to the Rajasuya Yagya. So then Krishna thought, what should I do? Should I go to Jarasandha? Or should I go to Yudhishthira Maharaj, the Rajasuya Yagya? So then he turned to Uddhav. "Uddhav, what should I do?" Uddhav ji said, "Gayanti te vishadakama griheshu devyo ragyam sasattu badam atva vimochanam cha gopyascha kunjara pate janakatma jaya pitrascha labda sharana munayo vayam cha." He said, "Oh Krishna, the wives of those kings, they're in their homes. And their children are crying, 'Where's my daddy? Where's my daddy?' And they say to the children, 'Don't worry.' And they sing the glories of Krishna. 'Krishna will come and save your daddy. He'll kill the enemy, Jarasandha. And he'll liberate them. Not only liberate them from the prison, but liberate them from material existence. And also liberate us from this world. And also from the separation from our husbands.' So Krishna is so wonderful. And so Uddhav ji, he said, 'Oh Krishna, the wives of those kings, now they're singing. your glories. Also, Gopyascha Kunjarapate Janakatmajaya. Just like Kunjarapate means the king of elephants, Gajendra. Gajendra was trapped in the jaws of a crocodile and fighting for thousands of years, and finally became weak and he was being pulled under the water. And then he completely, that elephant Gajendra, surrendered to Sri Krishna. He didn't even ask Krishna to save him. He just said, I surrender myself to you. He didn't say, come and save me. But after he surrendered, then Krishna, the Lord Narayan, appeared in the sky riding on the back of Garuda. And then Gajendra took up a lotus flower and offered the lotus flower. So it's not that he took the lotus flower and said, oh my Lord, I surrender to get this crocodile off my foot. Right? He wasn't. Because Krishna will not reciprocate with a person who is not free from ulterior motives. So he surrendered first. Oh, Supreme Lord Bhagavan, I am yours. You can save me or kill me. It doesn't matter, I am yours. And when he did that and offered prayers glorifying the Lord with great humility, then the Lord reciprocated, riding on the back of Garuda, and then he took the lotus. Oh, here's a lotus flower for you. So then Lord Narayan cut that crocodile and liberated Gajendra. So Uddhavji was saying, just like the wives of those kings, they are singing your glories. Just as in the past Gajendra was singing your glories, they were all saved by you. Janakatmajaya. Janakatmajaya means Sita Devi. Sita Devi was captured by Ravan and kept in Ashok Vartika, the garden of Ashok trees in Lanka. And she was crying, remembering Lord Ram. And Lord Ram came and saved her. Pitroshta. Pitroshta means your parents. Vasudeva and Devaki were in the jail. Every time Devaki gave birth to a child, Kamsa would come and murder the child. But all the time they were singing your glories. And finally you came and you also saved them. You killed the enemy and liberated them from their suffering condition. So Pitroshta, Labda Sharana, and all the great rishis, Munayo Vayamcha, would have said, all the great munis, and myself also, we all surrendered to you, and we're all singing your glories. Gopyascha, and the gopis also. That means, in Vrindavan, the gopis are crying and thinking, oh, will Krishna come back and save us? Surely he will. Because once we were attacked by Shankachuda, and Krishna came and he saved us and killed Shankachuda. So just as Krishna saved us by killing Shankachuda, he'll also save us from this ocean of separation by returning to Vrindavan. So, Gayanti te vishadakama griheshu devyo. So Uddhavji, what he was really saying is this. He was telling Krishna, go to Jarasandha. Why? Because if you free the kings, then those kings can participate in the Rajasuya. Don't go to the Rajasuya Yaga first, because then those kings can't give their wealth. We mentioned that yesterday. And on the other hand, if you go and you kill Jarasandha first, then Dantavakra will be very upset and he will attack you. He will want to fight with you. So, then, when you go to fight with Dantavakra, then you'll be very close to Braj, and you can go and see the gopis. So here Gopyascha, he's given a long list of persons who are surrendered to Krishna and are singing his glories, and Uddhavji threw in this word Gopyascha. And the gopis also. Why? Because all the Yadus were around, and they were watching, they were listening. What advice is Uddhav going to say? So Uddhav, being Krishnasya Daita Saka, his intimate friend, he knows what Krishna wants. So he wants to say to Krishna, Krishna, this is a really good pretext, this is a great excuse to go back to Vrindavan and see the gopis. But he can't say that in front of the residents of the Dwarka. So he said, oh, these queens are singing your glories, and Gajendra sang your glories, and Sita Devi sang your glories, and the sages who surrendered to you, and myself, and your parents, and the gopis, and he just casually dropped the gopis in there. But that's what he really wanted to say. Because he's Uddhavo Buddhi Sattamaha, he's very, very intelligent. So Krishna could understand that he was saying go to Jarasandha first, but he also knew this is all fluff, and in the fluff then Uddhav's giving his real instruction. Krishna, you go and see the gopis. Because Uddhav feels very distressed. He went to Vrindavan, he's seen the condition of the Braja gopis. So he is looking for a situation, some excuse where he can get Krishna to go back. So this verse is spoken by Uddhav when, in the very end, at the end of Krishna Lila, just before Krishna, many years later, Krishna is about to leave this world. And just before leaving this world, he's giving instructions to Uddhav. And he explains to him all about karma, jnana, yoga and bhakti. So after discussing the subject of yoga sadhana, then this chapter comes. In 11th canto, chapter 1, there's a discussion of the yoga sadhana. Chapter 28. 28. So now 29, this next chapter has come. So Uddhavji is saying to Krishna, this yoga sadhana that you have described seems to me to be extremely difficult. And there are many persons who they take up this path of yoga sadhana and they try for years and years and years on end, but they still can't go into samadhi. The mind is extremely difficult to control. Extremely difficult. You come and sit here every morning for a few hours and just chant japa. And do this every day, for hours every day, for some years. And you can discover how difficult it is to enter into samadhi. By chanting Harinam, that's the easiest way. But it's still going to take some effort. So, na karo alas, don't be without an effort. The absence of effort is a symptom of tamagun actually. The acharyas say, the absence of effort is a symptom of tamagun. It's too much, I don't want to do this. Tamagun. So, Uddhavji is saying that yogis on the path of yoga sadhana are doing intense effort for years and years and years until they become exhausted. They become discouraged and they just cannot attain samadhi. So, why do they not surrender to you? This is the best process. Those who surrender themselves to you, then you help them control their mind. And they easily attain perfection. But those who are proud of their achievements in yoga sadhana, they think, oh, I've done all the asanas. I've become expert in prana. I've controlled my prana. And now I am controlling my mind. But what happens to them? Due to pride in their own achievements, due to a pride in their own power and ability, they eventually, whatever concentration they develop, they lose it. And they fall down and they fail. But those who surrender to you, they always become successful. Now, Uddhavji is speaking this verse, which explains the nectar of surrender. The wonderful thing about surrender is this. Krishna has said, Yaya tamam prapadyante tangstataiva bhajamyaham mamavat manuvatante shupata sarvashaha. As the living entities surrender to me, I reciprocate with them. That means that when the devotee surrenders himself to Krishna, Krishna surrenders himself to the devotee. Now Uddhavji is, now someone may say, what? God surrenders to the devotee. God is he's supposed to be the controller and we are the controlled. That's most amazing. But Uddhavji is saying, no. When the devotee surrenders to Krishna, then Krishna surrenders to the and becomes controlled by that devotee. This is a very important point. If we want to understand Krishna Swarup, the nature of Krishna. You see, just like Lord Brahma in Brahma Stuti. In the first verse, what's the first verse? Brahma Stuti. Not Brahma Samhita, Brahma Stuti. After Brahma Vimohan Lila, yeah? Yeah? Yes. No midyate brahmapasaita didambaraya. Banyastroje Gunjavatang sa paripichala sanmukaya. Banyastroje kavalavetra vichana venum. Lakshmasriye mridupade pasupangujaya. First, after Lord Brahma was bewildered by the inconceivable, unfathomable, endless opulences of this little cowherd boy who's only 5 years old. He was astonished and he bowed down again and again weeping, and he composed himself. He said, you are the only object of worship for everyone. And you are standing before me with a peacock feather in your hair, with earrings made of gunja berries, decorated in flowers from the forest. You have a flute stuck in your belt and a stick. Why does a supreme controller need a stick for controlling the cows? You have a stick for herding the cows stuck in your belt and a buffalo horn bugle. And you're standing with some rice and yogurt and fruit and dripping through the fingers of your left hand. Like a 5-year-old boy with very small child's feet. Pashupangujaya means the son of a cowherd. That means Lord Brahma is telling the truth. He's not the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. Pashupangujaya. He's the son of a gop, Pashupa. So when Brahma glorified the beautiful form of this transcendental child, who is actually Param Tattva. So then, Krishna is not talking to him. Krishna is not even looking at him. But telepathically he was communicating. He said, Brahma, what are you talking about? I'm just a little boy. You describe my body, my clothing, my hand with the dripping fruit and everything. How can this be the supreme object of worship for everyone? I'm just a little boy, Then Brahmaji, he said, Asyapi deva vaposo madanugrahasya svechamayasya nahi bhutamayasya kopi neshe mahi tvavasitam manasantarena sakshadtaveva kimut atma sukhanubhute. This is a very important verse, often quoted by our acharyas Jiva Goswami, Srila Vishwanath Thakur, to make this point about Krishna. That Krishna, it's his nature to be fully surrendered to his devotees. The meaning is this. Krishna said, I'm just a little boy. Why you say I'm a 5-year-old boy, I'm only this tall. I'm dressed with all bits and pieces from the forest. How can you say I'm the object of all worship? So Brahmaji is replying, Asyapi deva vapaso madanugrahasya. No. Madanugrahasya. It's only by your mercy that you have shown me this beautiful vapu. Asyapite vapuso madanu. It's only by your causeless mercy that you have shown me this beautiful transcendental child's body, which is the source of all existence. This body is svecha mayasya natu bhuta mayasya kopi. Natu bhuta mayasya means this body is not bhutamaya. Your body is not made of earth, water, fire, air and ether. It is completely transcendental. And being transcendental, this body has this special quality, Svecha Mayasya. Here, Svecha May, Swa. Yeah. But Swa means one's own. Swa. And Icha means desire. Icha. So Icha, one's own desire. And Mai means it's made of, it's composed of that. So he's saying, Krishna, your body is not made of material elements, but Swechamai, it manifests according to the desire of Swa, your devotee. Those who are your own. In other words, why is God like a little boy? Huh? Because Mother Yashoda wants to love God as a boy. Because the cowherd boys want to play with the Supreme Parabrahma as a friend in the forest. So God is completely responsive, completely submissive, and His divine transcendental form is manifest out of mercy as just a response to the emotions of pure devotees. Understand? There are millions of universes. And in these millions of universes, from the spiritual sky, endless streams of avatars are coming and going. Varaha, Nrsimha, Kalki, Matsya, Lord Ramachandra. So many forms coming and going. Supreme Lord is running all over the place, here and there, all the time. Why? Svecha Mayasya. Because the devotees, either the pure devotees who are doing their sadhana and become mature here, or the eternal associates also appearing here, because of their desires. Supreme Lord's running all over the place. He's manifesting forms which exactly correspond to the love with which they love Him. So why? Because He's surrendered to His devotee. So Brahmaji is saying, Asyat Pideva Vaposa Madanugrahasya Svecha Mayasya Natu Bhuta Mayasya Kopi Neshe Mahitva Vasitam Manasantarena. He said, Brahmaji said, you are saying that you're just a little boy. But actually, the potency that is in this Vapu, the potency which is in this body standing before me like a little boy, it is completely beyond my power of imagination or estimation. Manasantarena means that my manas, my mind, has gone inside. So if a yogi wants to know something, they don't have to look it up or read a book or cut something open. If a yogi wants to know how does the digestive system work, oh, let's get a body and we'll cut it up and look at all the parts. Right? Yogis, the knowledge of Ayurveda, all these things doesn't come like that. This knowledge is called yoga jap. It comes from yoga sadhana. So when the mind becomes ekagrata, one-pointed, then it can focus on different objects. And when it's focused on the objects, at one point in mind, whichever object it focuses on, the chitta transforms and becomes a facsimile of that very object. That's called samapati. You see, that's how also you get your siddha there. When you focus on the associates, then your chitta transforms and becomes just like them. So the yogis, this is how they get their siddhis. For example, they meditate on the fiery element in the body. And the fiery element emits a luminous substance which makes a person become visible. So when they meditate on the fiery element, then their chitta transforms and becomes exactly like that element. And now they can control it. So then they can withdraw that luminosity which emanates from the fiery element, they can withdraw it. And then the yogi becomes invisible and disappears. So by realizing the nature of the element of fire in the body and then controlling it, then the yogi gets the siddhi of becoming invisible. So, and all the other siddhis are like that. When they do samapati on air, then their body becomes as light as air and they can levitate, they can float. So there are 8 asta siddhis, 8 prominent siddhis and 10 secondary siddhis, and they all work by the same principle of samapati, and then they acquire various qualities, whatever they're doing the samapati on. So, Brahmaji is saying, Manasantarena, my mind is withdrawn with him and completely focused on you. But still, I don't have a clue about the extent of your energies. In other words, the power in your body is not amenable even by yogaja, the knowledge that comes from the mystic yoga. You are completely Yamshama Sundarama Chinchu Guna Sarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So he said, Neishe Mahi Tvavasitam means I cannot estimate the potencies in your vapu, Manasantarena, Sakshat Tavaiva, Kimutatma Sukhanubhute. So if I cannot understand what potency is there, he's a little 5-year-old child. From him came the first Chatuvya, the second Chatuvya, from the second Chatuvya came Mahavishnu, and then Garbhadakasha Vishnu, then the Paramatma, so all the millions of universes. This little boy is the source of all of them. Brahmaji said, if I cannot estimate the extent of your power, Kimutatma Sukhanubhute, how can I understand the happiness that you feel within yourself? So here, the meaning of Brahmaji's words. This is Thakurji's paraphernalia. Just keep him away from Thakurji. Okay, keep. Could be Shukracharya. Just check how many eyes he has. So the meaning here is that the Brahmaji, before the form of Sri Krishna, he's expressing that I have 5 types of ignorance. 5 types of ignorance. First of all, I cannot understand the extent of the powers within this beautiful divine body of yours as a 5-year-old child. That's his first ignorance. His second ignorance is, if I cannot understand the powers within this childhood body of yours, then what happens when you manifest your Kishore Swarup? Because as Krishna gets older, then he manifests more and more of his powers and qualities. So that's why Gopavesha, Venukara, Navakesho Nattabara, that's the original form of Krishna. Navakesho Nattabara, dressed like a dancer as an adolescent boy. So that's the second ignorance I can't understand. So then, Sukhanubhuta, my third ignorance is that if I cannot understand the powers in your body, as small, as a fully manifest as a Kishore, then how can I understand the happiness that you feel when you wander on the bank of Jamuna, when you climb on Govardhan Hill, when you play your flute, when you're taking your cows to graze? What kind of ananda, sukhanubhute, that means a sukha anubhuti. What joy does Krishna feel when he's wandering around in his divine swarup on the valleys of Govardhan with his cows? I just can't imagine what it's like. Atma Sukhanu, here Atma Sukh can mean the happiness in you, and it can mean in your Atma, those are your associates. My fourth ignorance is, I cannot understand the extent of the happiness which is there in the bodies of your associates. Subal, Sridham, Dham, Vasudham, Arjun, Labanga, Stokam, Krishna, Madhumanka, Vasant, Kokil, Bringa, all the different cowherd boys. Not even mentioning the gopis. This is a special. Oh, it's probably the garland.
It's already gone.
So, then the fifth type of ignorance. Brahmaji is saying, the happiness in your Kishore Swarup is beyond my estimation. The divine transcendental bliss in the Swarups of your associates is beyond my estimation. And when you in your Swarup and they in their Swarup meet together and embrace each other and perform pastimes together, that's really, really beyond my comprehension. So, the essence of this verse is that Brahmaji, he's saying, Oh Krishna, Svecha Mayasya. The very nature of your Swarup is that you are completely under the control of your devotee. Aham bhaktha parajino hi ashvatanta iva jija sadubhe vrastaridayo bhaktar bhaktajana priya. Lord Narayan said, I am not independent. I am submissive. I am subordinate to the love of my devotees. They have occupied my heart. So here, see, Uddhavji is saying, Kim Chitra Machuta. Kim means, it introduces a question. What? Kim Chitram. Chitra means astonishing. What is astonishing? Achuta. Krishna. The Chuta means one who never fails. So that means that Krishna never fails to reciprocate with his devotees. Kim Chitra Machuta Tavaitad. Tava means your. Aitad. This Ashesha Bandho. Krishna, one name for Krishna is Ashesha Bandhu. Ashesha Bandhu has many meanings. Ashesh means no end. So it means that there is no end to the friendship of Krishna. When Krishna becomes your friend, this friendship in time never ends. Ashesha Bandhu means not only is there no end in time to the friendship, but there's no end to the friendliness of Krishna's friendship. His friendliness is also endless. And also that he's the friend of endless living entities. Just like when Krishna danced on the head of Kaliya, because of the poison of Kaliya, the friends of Krishna had become unconscious. So because they're his friends, so Krishna revived them. But Krishna danced on the head of Kaliya. But by this he purified him. And Kaliya became a pure devotee. So Krishna's friendship is he's a Shesha Bandhu. He's a friend to everyone. The good and the bad, he just gives kindness to all. So Uddhavji is saying, Kim Chitra Machuta Tavai said, what is astonishing about this? That if someone surrenders to you, that they easily attain perfection, unlike the yogis who are doing sadhana and failing. What is Kim Chitram? What is astonishing? Achuta, Tava. Tava means you're relating to his devotees. Aitad. What's astonishing about this? Aitad. Ashesha Bandhu. You whose friendship goes on forever, whose friendship itself has no boundaries, it is endless, and whose friendship is extended to everyone without end. So what is astonishing? Dashvesha Nanya Sharaneshu Yadatma Sattvam. Dasheshu means your servants. Among your servants, Dasheshu, who are Ananya Sharaneshu. They are Sharanagat. They are surrendered to you. How? Ananya. One-pointed. Not to Lord Shiva and Ganesh and Durga and Chandra and Surya and Shani Dev and Saturn and all the different Navagrahas. No, only surrendered to you, Krishna. How is it surprising that for those who are fully surrendered, one-pointed to you, Yadatma Sattvam, you become Atma Sattvam. Now this word is very, very important, Atma Sattvam. Atma Sattvam means a total surrender. Just like we say, who is a Gaudiya Vaishnava? 18 Thakur, Gaudiyake Koryachin Atmasat, Tinera Charanamona Tinimoranat. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gives the definition. What is Gaudiya? Gaudiya means 18 Thakur. Gaudiyaki Koryachin Atmasat. They have become Atmasat of 3 Thakurs. Madan Mohan, Govinda and Gopinath. Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govinda and Radha Gopinath. That means this Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. But who have made Krishna, their heart and soul, through the process of being established in Sambandha Gyan, that is Madan Mohan, with relationship with Krishna without connection to the world. Govindaji, that is the sadhan, the predominating deity of the Abhidaya Tattva, the process of bhakti. And then Gopinath, the Prayojan Tattva, Krishna in Shriman Rasarasarambi, in Rasalila. So those who have, they have become Atmasat. They have given their hearts fully to these three deities. That person is called the Gaudiya Vaishnava. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also, he says, Shakti Buddhihin Amiyati Din Karamore Atmasata. Oh Gurudev, by your mercy, make me Atmasat. And the gopis are Atmasat to Krishna. So what does Atmasat mean? It means, one, Atmasat means that you have given yourself completely. That is Atmasat. That means, I belong to you. Then the next meaning of Atmasat is, I have no independence at all. The next meaning of Atmasat is, my heart is one with your heart. And the next meaning of Atmasat is that only you are living in all of my senses. In other words, every sense, all my prans is only for your service, your loving service. So someone who has done that is called Atmasat. So who has done that to Madan Mohan Govinda Gopinath is called the Gaudiya. Who by the mercy of Gurudev, we cannot even do it ourselves. By Gurudev's mercy, if we can try to please Gurudev sincerely, then by his mercy we can become Atmasat to Gurudev. That means, oh, I have given myself to you. I have no independence. My heart and your heart is one. And you are living in all my senses. That means my entire existence is only to serve you. Koramore Atmasat. And gopis, they have given themselves to Krishna. They have no independence from Sri Krishna. Their hearts are one with Sri Krishna. And Sri Krishna is living in all their senses. So here, but now we've spoke about the Atmasat to Krishna or to Guru. But here Uddhav is saying it the other way around. He's saying, what is astonishing in Krishna? That for those who are Ananya Sharaneshu, who have completely given themselves to you, that you become Yadatmasatva, you are Atmasat to them. In other words, Krishna gives himself to his devotee. He has no independence from his devotee. His heart is one with his devotee. And the devotees are living in all of his senses and he's only thinking how to serve them at every moment. So this is the meaning of Sharanagati actually. When the devotee is Ananya Sharaneshu, then Krishna himself becomes Atmasat to that devotee. This is Krishna's Swarup. This is his nature. Swaicha mayasya natu bhuta mayasya kopi. This is Krishna. So, how are the devotees, the Ananya Sharaneshu, always thinking of Krishna? We see that when Krishna jumped in the water and started to make a disturbance, and Kalyanag came with so many hoods and then he wrapped himself around Krishna. So at that time there was many inauspicious omens. Comets were falling from the sky, there were tremors in the earth, jackals were howling. So everywhere there were inauspicious omens. The bodies of the male persons were trembling. You know, if you get a twitch in your left eye or your left arm or left leg, if you're male, that means something inauspicious is happening or about to happen. And for women, it's the other way around. So, all the Brijbasis, they didn't know where Krishna was, but men were trembling on the left side. They saw comets, there was earthquake. They thought, Krishna, Krishna, we have to go to Krishna. And then they ran, and they saw his footprints. Brindaranyam Swapadaramanam. Because the stones had melted, and his footprints then became hard again, so they were not lost. And they followed Krishna's footprints, and they came, and there they saw he was wrapped up in the coils of Galia. Actually, all these inauspicious omens, they cannot take place in Braja. But how can anything inauspicious take place in Braja? But rather the demigods, seeing that Krishna was wrapped in the coils of Kaliya, they thought, now we have a chance to do service. This is Krishna's human-like pastimes. So everyone has to be really worried about him now, so we have to do the special effects. So the demigods, they were the special effects department. Mother Earth started to make the tremors, I'll make the tremors. Like that. Another demigod made a comet come. Indra made the left arm shake in the men, like this. So all the demigods are trying to make it look inauspicious, so the pastime can be really relishable. So the Brij Basis, because they don't know anything, they think they're ordinary human, and it's really something bad. So they all ran, and they assembled on the bank of Jamuna, and then they looked, and they saw the coils of Kaliya like that, and there was just a little bit of pitambar sticking out there from one coil, a little bit of a peacock feather sticking out from there, like that. Krishna's feet were sticking out here, but he wasn't moving. So Shukadev Goswami said, Tam naga boga parivitam adrishta chestam aloka tatpriya saka pashupa brishataha Krishna pit atta surit arta kalatra kama dukanu shoka bayamuda dio nipetuhu. Very important verse. It's describing that moment. They all came on the bank of the Kaliya Rad and they looked. Tam naga boga parivitam. Krishna was wrapped up in the coils of Kaliya and adrishta chestam. Means they could not see any movement in Krishna's body. It's one thing if he's struggling, but they can see his limbs sticking out a little and no movement. So then what? The Brij Basis are saying Krishna, no movement, adrishta chesta. Aloka tatpriya saka pashupa brishata. They all felt so much pain. Why? Krishnarpit atma suridartha kalatra kama. They had completely given their heart. Krishnarpit atma. They had offered their atma to Krishna. Surit. They were only absorbed in well-wishing for him. Artha, their wealth. Their kalatra kama. Kalatra means their wives, their children, all their family members, everything. They existed only for Krishna. Their desires, everything. It was only for Krishna. So when they saw he was not moving, then what happened? Dukanu shoka bayamuda dio nipetuhu. They felt such sadness. Dukkha. They felt such sadness. Why? Krishna must be suffering. And out of empathy they were feeling his suffering. Anushok, they were lamenting. They were lamenting so much. What will we do? How will we serve Krishna now? Dukkha Anushoka, Bhaya, they felt fear of separation from Shri Krishna. And finally they became completely bewildered. Mudha, they fainted. The only Beethoven, and they fell to the ground. Fell unconscious on the ground. Why? They are Dasvesananya Sharneshu, fully surrendered to Krishna. Krishna's happiness is their life. If Krishna something happens to him, they feel like they will die. So Krishna Leela is like this. These associates are actually Tadrupa Vaibhava. They're part of his Swarup. Krishna is the Raso Vaisaha, the embodiment of all rasa. So for that rasa to manifest, there has to be Visha and Ashray. So all these associates who are fully dedicated to him, they are the effulgence, they are the beauty, they are the aura of his own divine Swarup. His parikas, they're not different from him. That's why when you're chanting Harinam, first you realize Krishna's form, then his qualities, then his parikas. This is just the extended realization of Krishna's form. There's only one reality. So those associates are an integral part of that reality. So Krishna's difficulty, their emotions, everything. This is just all the play, manifested by the play of his Leela Shakti. And so if we want to enter into that, we have to become Rag Anuga, following the Rag of those associates. So here, Uddhavji, he's saying, these are Dasvaisananya. if someone has completely surrendered to Krishna, like them, Krishna, Pitatma, Suridartha, Kalatra, Kama, that they have no independent existence, then Krishna himself becomes Atmasat to them. Everything he's doing is just to please them. Why is he going house to house stealing butter? It's to give joy to the ladies whose butter he's stealing. Huh? It's not because he's hungry. It's because he's Atmasat to them. So he cannot stop himself from, he has to go to this house and that house and this house. Huh? When Lord Brahma tried to steal the boys and cows, then Krishna, he became all the boys and all the cows. Ahoti danya brajagora manya stanamritam pita mativarte muda. Lord Brahma also said, "Oh my Lord, you are so greedy to reciprocate with your devotees, to taste the love of your devotees, that you thought, all these mothers in Braj, I want to drink the breast milk of every single one. There will be not one breast in Braj I will not drink the milk from." And not only the mothers, the cows as well. There will be not one udder in Braj that I will not drink the milk from. So though Brahma, he became bewildered. He was really bewildered by the Leela Shakti Yoga Maya to do this pastime, so that Krishna could take the form of all the calves and all the boys, because he was just so greedy. Yadatma Sattvam. He's given himself to all of them. He wants to drink the milk of every breast and every udder in Braj, not leaving one aside. So Brahma said, "Ahoti danyabra jago brahmanyam stanamritam pita mativa te muda." And when Krishna began to drink just a little milk from the breast of any gopi, then that drop of milk gave more happiness to Krishna than all the fire yagyas of all the rishis that have been performed in the entire universe from time with no beginning.
How much I'm sorry?
One drop.
Еще скажи, пожалуйста.
Ну и вот эта одна капля, которую он выпил из груди какой-либо гопи, она была ему как бы дороже, чем все те яги, которые проводили риши там с незапамятных времен, то есть и так далее. Вся совокупность этих яги.
So what is Uddhavji describing? Uddhavji here is describing why we should surrender. Instead of having ego and doing an independent sadhana, yoga sadhana, jnana sadhana, anything. Why? Because of this. Dasrasanesa Shaneshu Yadatma Sattva. That Supreme Lord who is so full of joy, even Brahma cannot estimate the extent of his joy. He becomes Atmasat to you when you surrender. So what should we do? Kamvadayalam Sharanam Brajema. What else is there to do? You can make a list of your options. What do you want to do? I want to get a job in a bank. Whatever. Put a list of your options. Oh, the eternal, unlimited, unfathomable, inconceivable embodiment of all eternal bliss wants to do Atmasatnam to me. Hard choice. So think. Why we should do Sharanagati? So Uddhavji in another verse said, Kambadayalam Sharanagati. What kind of person would not surrender to Krishna? So now Uddhavji is really Stuna Nikananyai, really knocking the point home even more. He's saying, Ya Rochat Samirga Swami Saranam Shimat Krita Tarpiri Parapita. You might think, but if I surrender to Krishna and serve him, then what is that to Krishna? No. Krishna is so open-hearted. And he's so pleased just by simple loving service that Swayamishwaranam means the great demigods. Brahma, Shiva, Chandra, Indra, Surya. They're all the great demigods. Srimat Kirita Parapita Parapita. Srimat means the beauty. Kirita means the crowns. And Tata means the tip of the crowns. So the crown has the best jewel on the tip. Srimat Kirita Parapita Pidita. Pidita means polishing. And Padapit means a footstool. You know, when Krishna sits on the throne in Dwarka, so the king or the prince has a throne, and then at the foot of the throne there's something a bit like this, right? So Krishna has a beautiful golden and jeweled, that is called Padapita, at the footstool where he rests his feet when he's sitting on a throne. So here the Uddhavji is saying that, oh, you know, once Lord Brahma came to Dwarka, and he came, and the doorman said, who are you? He said, I'm Brahma. And I said, which Brahma? And Brahma said, Chaturmukh Brahma, me, you know, the one creator of the whole universe. Yeah? So they said, okay, just wait there. So then Brahmaji was sitting in a waiting room with all these demigods. All the demigods are in the waiting room. So then afterwards Krishna's butler came and said, Krishna will see you now, come. Chaturmukh Brahma, come. So then Brahma, he came inside and he bowed down to Krishna, and he had this question on his mind, why did he say which Brahma? Chaturmukh Brahma, 4 Vedas came from 4 mouths, I created the whole universe. So he was thinking like this, and Krishna just smiled at him. And when he smiled, oh, thousands of Brahmas from all different universes came there. And some of them had 8 heads, 16 heads, 32 heads, 64 heads, 1,000 heads, 10,000 heads, 100,000 heads. And so many Shivas and Ganeshis and Durga, so many Devatas all came, like a swarm of bees, they filled the sky, flying from all different universes. And Brahmaji with only 4 heads, he just felt like a little rabbit in the midst of a herd of elephants. So when all the Devatas, now that Brahma could see all of them, but each one of them so they were the only one there. And they all came down and they bowed down to Krishna's lotus feet. And when they bowed down, then the crushed jewel of their helmets touched the Krishna's Padapita and polished it. Rubbed against it like this. So, how opulent is Krishna? That's Swayamishwaranam Srimat Kirita Parapidita Padapita. That's how powerful he is. That's how influential he is. That's how much potency he has, that all the great Ishwaras of millions of universes are polishing his footstool with their crown. But Yarochyat Saramega. Yarochyat means Krishna in Vrindavan. He takes pleasure just interacting with the animals. When Krishna is in Vrindavan, he's stealing butter. And then some monkeys come into the kitchen. And Krishna says, oh, do you want some? And he feels great joy feeding butter to the monkeys. Because everyone in Vrindavan, even the animals, they are completely, fully surrendered to him in spontaneous love, without any opulence at all. So on the one hand, all the great Ishwaras are bowing down to him. But on the other hand, Krishna becomes Atmasat. He's surrendered even to the monkeys in Vrindavan. He's lovingly feeding them. He loves the monkeys. He loves the birds. He sits down with Radharani and they call the parrots and they land on their heads. And Krishna teaches the parrot. I mean, he takes the parrot like a shishya, like a disciple, and teaches him how to glorify Radharani. And Radharani teaches the parrot how to glorify Krishna. Like this. And Radha Krishna, they feel Vatsalya Ras for the parrots. Krishna loves his cows. Radharani loves Krishna's cows also. Once there was a little baby calf and he was eating some grass and a sharp piece of a straw stuck in his nose and a little blood was coming. And when Radharani saw that Krishna's little calf had some straw stuck in his nose, she started to cry. And she took her own very expensive silk cloth. You know, Radharani wears silk from China. No, Rupa Goswami said she wears imported silk from China. Yeah, chini, in Sanskrit it's called chini. Yeah. So Radharani takes a very expensive cloth and she tears it. And then she puts some kumkum on where the blood is coming and ties it on the nose of the cow. Like this, and with tears in her eyes. So, how is it surprising that Krishna becomes Atmasat to his devotees when even in Vrindavan He's pleased by the simple activities of the animals. Darshaniya ko banamala divya gandha tula sima dumatai ahli kularalu gugitam abistam adriyam jahi kujitavenu. Radharani is in her home during the day, and she's feeling separation from Krishna. She sends out one of her Sakis. What is he doing? Find out what he's doing. And that Saki goes into the forest. And going deep into the forest, she comes to Govardhan. And there is a beautiful waterfall. And spray is going everywhere, and it's very hot. And there's one big rock there, and Krishna, he's taken bath in the waterfall. Then he came out, and then he got some colored minerals of Govardhan, and he made tilak on himself. And he put on one banamala, and then he's sunbathing on the rock to dry. His hair is wet, his body is wet, and he's just sunbathing on the rock after taking a bath. So then that gopi, she's looking, and she comes back to report to Radhika. She says, Darshaniya tila ko banamala. Oh, you have to see Krishna. He's Darshaniya. You have to see him. You have to see him with the tilak and with the banamala. That means he's only wearing tilak and banamala. You know what I mean? So Darshaniya tilak. You have to see Krishna. How beautiful he looks at that time. And Divya Gandha Tulasi Bana. There's the Tulasi Manjuis in the garland. And the fragrance is attracting the bumblebees. And Krishna is lying there and he's feeling such ecstasy. And he cannot contain the ecstasy, so then he takes his flute. And he puts his flute to his lips. But then he doesn't know what raga to play in. The key to play in rag. So then the bumblebees who are attracted by the Tulsi manjas in his flute, the bumblebees begin to sing sa re ga ma pa pa, the fifth note. Pa, so then Krishna, hearing the fifth note from the bumblebees, he says, oh, thank you. He's so pleased with the bumblebees that they help him decide which key to play in. And then Krishna begins to play in Panchamaraga. Like this. So Adriyan Jaji Kujitavena means Krishna is giving honor even to the insects in Braja. So here Uddhavji is saying, Kim titta machuta tavaita ashesha bandhu dasveshwananya sarnesho yadatma sattvam yarochat saramigasva misranam Srimat Kirita Padapita Padapita. What is astonishing? That Achyuta, Sri Krishna, who is the infallible and endless friend of everyone, that he does Atmasat. He becomes Atmasat to the devotees who have surrendered to him. When even the great controllers of the universe, their crown jewels polish his footstool. But Krishna himself, he feels great joy and he's pleased and reciprocates even with the simple animals in the forest of Vrindavan. Wow. So if there's any reason to surrender, then this is the reason. Krishna becomes Atmasat to the bumblebees in Braja, then Kimuta. Then what can we say? Na pariyam niravajja samyujam swasadu krityam vibudaya shaktivad. There are no words to describe how Krishna is submissive to the gopis of Vrindavan. Vaidagda Navatarunya Parihasa Visharada Nischinta Dhira Lalita Sa Prayasi Vasha. Krishna, the Dilalit Nayak, the romantic hero, like Cupid himself, very expert in all the arts. Vidagda. Vidagda means expert in arts. And it also means Vishesh Rupain Dagda. Dagda means burnt. You know? If you put you're making toast and you leave it too long, then it becomes Dagda. So Krishna's heart is Dagda, burnt in intense separation from Radhika. So he's Vidagda. Vidagdam Navatarunya, fresh young youth. Parihasa Visharada, always expert at joking. Nischinta, he has not a care in the world. Dhira Lalita, Sa Prayasi Vashaha, he's Prayashi Vashaha, controlled by his beloved. So, that is the... Though Uddhavji is speaking about the animals, Yarochat, the animals, Mriga, the animals of Braja. But he's been to Braja, he's seen the gopis. So he's speaking about the animals because Kim Uta, what to speak? I have no words to describe. I can only bow down. Vande Nanda Brajestinam Padarinam Vikshnasaha Yasam Harikutudgitam Punati Bhuvana Trayam Gaur Premanand.